Uh, Hello, hi. Please follow, subscribe, or whatever the case it is. Well, depending on what you're watching on, right? The reason I'm here today is to discuss, and what I'm going to discuss is the reason for this channel, the reason for this page, the reason for this account. Like, why this account? What's the main point? Well, basically, the main point is for me to document my life, right? I have this purpose, or what I call purpose in life, right? It's my own purpose in life. It's something that I've decided to go after, or to chase, or to, you know, it's my ambition, right? It's my goal. It's a goal that I've set for myself in this life, right? A goal that I feel like if I do not achieve it in this life, then I have failed. I've failed as a person. I've failed as a, you know, as a son, maybe. I failed as a friend to many. Yeah, but I would feel like I've totally failed in life. So I will not be sharing what that purpose is, right? But I think it's self-explanatory. It's about ambition. It's just that my goal is really outrageous, right? And it would make sense for me to just say it out loud so you guys know what's going on, so the critics can get over with it, and you know all of that, but I'm not ready for that yet. I will express it at some point. Maybe when I'm halfway, maybe I'm close. I will express it at some point, but not at this moment. So I'm going to document my journey, my way, my path, and how I took things, on how I did things, right? And I hope that when I get to the top, right, like when I get to the top, when I achieve that, someone would feel motivated enough to know that I did document my life, you know, that I did show the people what things I was taking on, that I did show the projects that I was working on, right? Like, I did show the steps that I took to success. And quite frankly, I'm writing a book that helps people to get success. I'm hoping that, because the principles that are in the book are the principles that I'm going to be using in my own life. I'm hoping that someone, when they grab the book, right, and they come to these videos and they look through these videos, they could see that this is the path, this is the way, this is how they should do things. Not directly, they could do it in their own way, they could move it in their own way. The world is changing, right? I cannot do it. I cannot do it the same way that Charles M. Schwab do it. Charles M. Schwab did it back then, right? I cannot do it the same way that Rockefeller did it. I cannot do it the same way Ford did it back then. Times have changed, right? I cannot do it the same way that Zuckerberg did it. I can try, but I don't think I'll ever do it to his level, right? I cannot do it the same way that Elon Musk did it. That was his path, that was his time. But when you look at these people, these influential people, there's things to be studied there. There's things to be acknowledged, right? And I want this page, this channel, this to be one of those things, right? One of those things that you can just, okay, let me study this guy, right? And I'll be here, to be studied, right? You can come here, you study, like, okay, this guy started here, he was writing a book. Okay, after writing a book, he took on this project. After this project, there was this project. After that project, there was that project, right? And along the way, I'll be explaining the things that I've learned, right? The most important things that I've learned. Right now, one of the biggest things that I'm learning is identity shifts, right? Identity shifts, a little bit complicated, as it has a lot of variables, right? There's a lot of variables, and I haven't really explained what chapter 2 was all about, right? So, as I'm talking about identity shift, I think I should talk about what I call in the book voices, right? So, voices in the book, I did a pair, right? A pair by pair. So, for instance, a pair by pair would be that you have fear, then you have courage. So, with fear and courage are two voices, right? One will tell you don't go there, it's scary. One will tell you, go there even though it's scary, right? But then I try to explain that you you are not supposed to kill one voice out, right? You're supposed to listen to to listen to both voices, but know which one to follow, know which one should be in the driver's seat, right? So, for instance, if it's courage and fear, right? Fear will tell you don't go there, it's scary, right? Courage will tell you go there even though it's scary, right? So now fear has already alerted you that it's scary, so you've used fear. Now you have information that is scary. There's something to be expected, right? If it's a scary place, then there must be something that you know that might hurt or harm you. So you're going there with awareness, right? You're gonna scan the place and make sure that there isn't any harm. But you're gonna go there anyway, even though it's scary, right? Um, so I did this with a lot of pairs of voices, right? Ambition. I think ambition was with fear also. Uh, no. Ambition was with comfort, right? Comfort and ambition, the two opposites. And you know, there's a lot of these pairs that I've mentioned. I don't want to go through them all right now, but there's a lot of these pairs that I've mentioned. And after mentioning those pairs, I went on to explain something, right? And this something that I explained was that most of the instincts that we have, right, or the voices that we have come from Asian times. They're not well built for the environment today, right? For instance, back in whatever age, right, back in the ages when people were still in the caves or still in the jungle, you have to be in the tribe in order to stay safe, right? And being in the tribe meant didn't you didn't have the ability to say whatever you want, right? You didn't have the ability to just come up with crazy ideas, right? If all the people in your village says this is our god, then that is your god, right? Because once you start coming up with another god, you are threatening their belief and you're telling them that they're stupid. So what they might do is cast you out, right, from the group, cast you out from the village. And when you are alone in the jungle, you know the danger, right? You might be sleeping over there, a snake might bite you. You might not be able to collect enough berries on your own to survive through winter, right? You might not be able to hunt on your own, right? You may not have the full capability and skills. So it was one of those characters that shaped over time the fear of not speaking up. And it's not just fear, right? It's comfort, right? Comfort has something to do with the reservation of energy, right? You couldn't be just running around for nothing, right? Unlike today, where people will just run around to keep healthy, to be in, to be fit, to be, you know, to have a little bit more power to stretch their muscles and just for fun. People could run for fun today, right? Back then, when you run, you were running because there was danger, right? And if you ran for fun, you might get tired. And when you get tired, you might notice that there is danger and you no longer have enough energy to run away. So comfort was somehow precious. Comfort was something to be loved, right? So all in all, even though my ideas are a little bit scrambled and a little bit over there, right? All in all, what I'm trying to say is that this is a channel where I come and document my life, where I come and express the ideas and thoughts that I have, right? And tell it to you guys as best as I can. And not only to you guys, but also to myself, right? Because I also listen to these videos once in a while. Yeah, check here and there what was I talking about, what was going on in my mind, you know, just to see my view and also to judge on the quality of the video, right? To see how can I improve, right? I'm still on the early stages and I'm hoping that one day maybe I will improve and do better, right? And I promise you guys that I will read a portion of the book, right? And I'm not sure which part to read, but I'll see what I can do. So yeah, this is it. Goodbye. Have a great day, great month, great week. Enjoy life.